Yo, what is good, guys? Yo, how's it going, guys? How is everyone doing? I hope everyone's had a good day so far. Ready to make some money. I'm 1 for 1 today. 1 win, 1 trade. But yeah, how's everyone doing? How's everyone getting on? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. If you're having a good day so far. Let's get it, big deeds. Alex, good afternoon. Good day to everyone. Afternoon, Scott. How's it going? How's Bola? Good afternoon. Nice to see you here. Hello, mate. How's it going? Let's get it, guys. Like up the stream if you're ready to get started. We're going to start with the fundamentals as we always do. Quick check over those. Then we'll go on to the technicals and see how we've been getting on GJ and stuff like that. So the structure, obviously, check the fundamentals, go to GJ, work our way through that, show you the trade that I took very quickly, see if there's any potential setups on there, then make our way to Bitcoin and gold and see how we're getting on there as well. Like the stream if you're ready to get started, guys. Good evening, Chris. How's it going? Let's get it, guys. Right then, we are good to go. Should put my phone on D&D because it's pinging. But yeah, let's get it, guys. So we're going to start with the fundamentals. Quick check over that. As you can see, we've had GBP CPI at 7 this morning, which has been and done. We don't need to really worry about that anymore. Importantly, though, we do have FOMC statements, speeches, and stuff like that. Very, very important, but that's at 7 p.m. We've still got like 4.5 hours until that. So there's no real issue at the moment. Now, New York session is going to be a little bit scary. Not scary. Scared of this news. We're basically going to be going a little bit more volatile. We may have the same volume, but we will be a little bit more volatile as everyone is getting ready, anticipating this. It's the last one of the year, I believe. So it's going to be basically 10x the impact because it's the last one of the year, okay? There's an FOMC press conference. I'm sure Jay Powell will speak in one of these at some point on this too, the federal funds rate. We've got to keep our eyes peeled for that. And if you want to track that, you want to see what's going on with that, just go over to financialjuice.com. I'm no way affiliated with these. This is just what you use to track the speeches. So at 7 o'clock, if you want to track the speech, go over to Financial Juice. And in red, it will highlight the important bits of each speech. Okay? If you want to track the speech, go to Financial Juice. But other than that, guys, that's all we got to worry about today. We got no real red folder news before New York session, which obviously isn't the best thing because we don't necessarily know when the volume is going to come in, but we do obviously know when the market opened. It's just like 4 minutes ago now. But we don't necessarily know when the red folder news is going to come in, and that's the issue with fundamentals, guys. You don't want to trade red folder, but you also don't want to trade days when there isn't red folder news because, for example, in London session this morning, we knew that there was going to be volume coming into the market at 7 o'clock in the morning. We knew that for a fact. You can look at the candles like literally a few minutes before to a few minutes after, and the volume is a lot different, almost double, almost triple the size, okay? And then that lasts through to the London Open, which is at 8 a.m., obviously, an hour after this. Then we have the London volume. Now, we don't have 130 red folder, which pumps up the volume. We only really have the New York Open. Okay? Afternoon, Dan. How's it going? But yeah, guys, that's the fundamentals for today. 7 a.m. GBP, been and gone. 7 p.m. USD, FOMC speeches, stuff like that. If you want to track that, go to financialjuice.com. Other than that, guys, we have nothing else to worry about. So we are good to trade for the day. Let's jump onto the chart. So as you can see, I'm on the daily time frame on GBP JPY, and that bearish bias does still stand. If you're watching my market outlooks, which you should be doing, they're free and they're on YouTube, you will understand I do still have a bearish bias on GJ, so I'm still looking for sells. So we don't really need to talk about the daily much. We can move straight to the 4 hour and see what's going on there. On the 4 hour time frame, you can see, I think I spoke about this on the stream, yesterday's stream maybe, but yesterday's market outlook definitely. We took out this high over here to the left-hand side, as you can see. And this is simple ERL and IRL, guys. I've said this numerous times. We take out the high, come to an imbalance, respect it, and continue, or reverse and head down. Okay? Here, you can see we've come up, took the high, left behind this bullish imbalance right here. which we've come down to and respected clearly. So we're pushing up off of this, which means we are slightly bullish on the 4-hour time frame, okay? So the daily's still bearish. Until we close outside this range, we are still prioritizing sales. That's just the way it is, the way it goes. On the 4-hour, we are saying we're looking like we're going to head up there, targeting the highs now. So you'd look really for price to come up to here on the 4-hour, but we need the daily to align with that if we're going to take buys. So we're still trusting the daily. We're still looking for sells. We still want to prioritize sells. But if it really does make sense on the lower time frames, we can take buys as well. Now, moving on to the lower time frames, onto the 1-hour time frame, I took a trade literally, I don't know how long, like maybe 40 minutes, 50 minutes before this stream. And it's simple ERL and IRL. Again, guys, like we literally take out this high. We also take this high out as well. Leave behind what? A bullish imbalance. From there, we come back down to try and respect it, which is the trade that I caught. I basically said, okay, on the higher time frame, on the 1-hour time frame, we've took out this high. We're looking to retrace back down to this fair value gap because that's just the way it works. ERL and IRL, price seeks liquidity and seeks to offer fair value. Took the liquidity here, so we seek to offer fair value by filling in this fair value gap. So that was my TP, and that was the reason I really took the trade, to be honest with you. Now, we go down to the 5-minute, and we can use that to align with this trade. As you can see, it went very smoothly straight to TP. The TP was pretty accurate, I'd say. You know, since then, we've just reversed and came straight back up. But the entry was all about AMD. We had the 5-minute accumulation right here. Let me just draw that out. 5-minute manipulation to the upside, which formed this fair value gap here. We then were pushing down to invert that, formed a bearish one right here, which we respected, and I relied on this, and basically, honestly, I assumed we were going to do this, but we kind of closed outside the range, so I took the entry there with the IFVG, with this 5-minute fair value gap. So, as a list of confluences, we had 1 hour took the high, trying to target the fair value gap. We had 5-minute AMD cycle, we had 5-minute IFVG, and we had 5-minute took the high, formed a bearish fair value gap, respected that, and came down to target the lows. Simple stuff here, guys. And the reason this was my take profit is because of the higher time frame, the 1 hour, ERL and IRL. We took the high, we target the imbalance. We either respect that imbalance and continue up, as you can see we're doing right here, or we disrespect that imbalance and continue down. I was not willing to take that gamble, especially considering the fact it's December. We had a difficult week so far, so I just decided to secure these profits, a nice 1.5 hour trade. I caught 1.5% on this, and it was very, very nice. So with that out the way, we can now look at what price is doing currently. It looks like we're in the expansion phase, but I'm just going to clean up the charts a little tiny bit here because we do not need to like have these highs. We don't need this one. We don't need this one or this one here either. We can get rid of all those. We can get rid of the trade too. Now, one thing I want to quickly say about the trade, guys, is really, I don't know if you want me to journal this because this is the stream journal, all right? This is the stream journal. It's called the stream journal because it's all the trades we take on stream. But another thing that would basically, you know, add to the authenticity behind it is journaling all the trades that I take. So if you want me to journal all the trades that I take and put it into here, let me know. Just leave a comment saying, you know, to do that. And if you want me to just keep it for streams, say that as well. Say what you think. One of the first few comments I'm just going to read and follow that. I'm not too sure if you want me to journal all my trades or journal just the stream trades. You guys can decide. Let me know what you think, and I will abide by that. But yeah, in terms of this trade, we don't really need to have these confluences drawn out anymore. It looks like we've respected this imbalance. Hey Bilk, hey Humphreys, how's it going? Nice to see you here, Dexter as well. Hi Adam, how's it going? But yeah, guys, you know, we've respected this imbalance, so we could really look for buys here using the 4 hour as well. You know, we got that 4 hour bullish bias. The only thing that's saying bearish really is the daily, and the daily's only saying that because we haven't closed outside the fair value gap yet. Once we do that, we can then look for buys, and we've discussed that numerous times. Yes, please. Okay, I will start journaling all the trades now. I'm not going to journal yesterday's because that's just, I might do that over the weekend if I have time, but we're going to journal this trade very, very quickly now, guys. Okay. Okay, guys, I will journal all the trades that I take and put it into the stream journal. Let me just draw this out a little tiny bit better, just so we can see it when we review it. Now, another thing as well, guys, I want to keep you, you know, learning things over the Christmas because, as you know, I'm stopping the streams for the year throughout Christmas. But journal all, please, Josh, so we can study. No worries, I will journal all my trades. But yeah, as I'm saying, guys, like, I want to make sure you can learn things over Christmas. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 3 live lectures on here for free over the course of Christmas. They're going to be 3 weekly ones. It's going to be covering, psychology, obviously, but then also, more importantly, liquidity and fair value gaps and AMD. We're going to cover those 4 topics in 3 live lectures over the course of Christmas. So let me know what you think about those as well, guys. But we're going to journal this trade very, very quickly. There's not much to this at all. We literally just copy the link and just put it into here. So what's the date? It's 18th to the 12th, 24. We did it on GBP. Is it GJ or GBP JPY? Okay, we'll do that. My camera's in the way, I can't really see it, but the bias was bearish because we used the daily, we prioritized the daily, and we also had the 1 hour aligning. The only thing that went against this trade was the 4 hour, but we had multiple time frames saying we're going to go down. So we took that sell aligning with that, and the R was 1.48, 1.48 R, W trade. It was IFVG and AMD. I'm going to add another thing into the column here for that, but for now we're just going to call it AMD. Great trade. ARL to IRL. To IRL. Sorry about this, guys. We've got to journal it live, and then same here, really, isn't it? Close break even. We did not do that. We caught 1.5%. That gives us a nice W for the week. We can really run off of that and leave it if we really wanted to. But there you go. That's journaled now. Back up to an 80% win rate. As you know, we're in like 14 trades in, so it's going to fluctuate very quickly. But right now we got a 1.5 average R with a just under 80% win rate on the stream journal, or on the journal as a whole. It looks like it was a good take profit placement too, but we're going to move on from this now. I'm going to look at actual setups. I just wanted to recap that with you so you can understand how I took the trade, why I took the trade, and how you can take trades just like me. But with that out the way, it does look a little bit messy in terms of price action. Like, we haven't really got the best now. That's really the move. If we form an IFVG after that, a little bit messy. What we're going to want to see is a little bit better structure. As always, we want to see that speed bump structure where we're just kind of doing this if we're going to take any IFVG setups on the 5. But what's the 1 hour saying? Let's see what the 1 hour is saying. So the 1 hour, at the moment, we're going to have to wait for the close. But at the moment, the 1 hour is saying bullish because we've took out the high, caught the move down to this imbalance, and now we're respecting this imbalance. So from that, we can basically look for buys with it. And Mark, it will be from the 21st. I'm not too sure on the dates yet, but it'll be around the 20th to the 21st until the 19th of January. I was waiting for end of stream, the 3 live stream lectures to ask for. Here it is. Okay, I will. But just quickly, big deeds, 0.5%. Like, it's just my account balance. So I make 1% on the trade, which will be 1% of my account balance. I'm trying to move away from telling you the figure, but 1%, 0.5%, 0.25% of the account balance. So today I made 1.5% of my account balance, which is like, there's a 50k and then there's a few like 10ks, so it's probably about like 80k. Then I have my personal, so we call it like 85, 90k in dollars. So 1.5% of that, like, I don't know how much, 1,000 something. But yeah, so that's what that percent is. But basically, guys, the bias really now, what we want to be prioritizing really is buys at the moment on GJ. Depends how this 15-minute closes, but we're going to just scrap the GJ for now. We're just going to scrap it and move on to something else. As you've just asked, Dan, we're going to have a look at gold. For buys, it's looking all right. Let's just have a quick recap on the bias, because I think if you watch my market outlook, guys, you would have seen that basically it was quite indecisive because we were still waiting for that daily to close, and the daily did close inside the range. So realistically, we have to go off of what the daily says, and the daily is saying bullish at the moment. The daily, until we close outside this range, we are still looking for buys on the daily. That's just the way it goes. Now, we can use our intuition a little bit here. We understand that price is clearly trying to push out of this fair value gap. So if the 4 hour aligns with a bearish bias and the 1 hour looks bearish too, we can look for sells on the 5 minute. But we kind of got to use, nice work, Mark, but we kind of got to use a bit of our intuition, because it's, trying to push out the fair value gap, but we kind of got to rely on the daily if none of the 4 hour or the hour basically suggest anything. Or if they suggest bullish, we run with that as well. So it's a little bit mixed, I'd say. Now the 4 hour, what is the 4 hour saying? The 4 hour looks like it is trying to come down to this imbalance over here. Sorry, not this imbalance, this low over here. After respecting this imbalance, it looks like it's disrespected it. As you can see, we had a very small one right here. But it looks like it's kind of just pushed straight down off of that. I do take trades live, yes. And the analysis in the Discord. I post the trades I take with the fast track private group. I post my analysis in the free group. Yeah, all right. That's a good idea, Adam. We'll do that. Well, yeah, guys, on the 4 hour on gold, it looks like we're trying to push down to this over here. So I think sells would make the most sense right now. Sells would make the most sense. Back to the 1 hour, you can see that AMD right here. We've got that accumulation here with potential manipulation to the downside. So we could really leverage that manipulation down and basically assume that we're going to manipulate down to this liquidity over here. That makes the most sense. So if we go to the 15 and look for that same thing, we basically just want to see a bullish IFVG, like a bullish fair value gap form, then we inverse it and take the sell. And that's the only setup I want to see on gold, but it doesn't really look like we're going to get that. And as I said, guys, the best price action comes from speed bump price action like this, where we basically just go up and down a little bit indecisive. We slow down, then we form the IFVG. So what we'd want to see if we're going to trade this is kind of like something like this, like AMD, like that. That's how we'd want to trade this, guys. So it's a little bit messy with that because we have just literally just melted to the downside near enough in alignment with GJ. But what would make the most sense right now is sells based on the 4 hour and on the 1 hour as well. We have that IFVG if this closes like this. We have that IFVG here. Now, it's took a while to make this, so it's a very low probability one. This is not an IFVG I'd look to trade if it was on the 5 minute. But you have to take into consideration the other things too. Like, we took out this high here. Took out this high here. Then reversed and headed down. Looks like we tried to invert that fair value gap, but very indecisive market. This is what I mean by why I don't trade December, guys. It just doesn't really make sense most of the time. You will get good setups like the one I took before, but it's very, very messy. Now, on gold, what I can see is that we tried to invert this, basically did, failed, came straight back down after taking the high. So the way this would work, guys, is you wouldn't take this trade. If this was on the 5 minute, you wouldn't take this trade because we've just took a high. And I seen someone, Dexter, it was you if you're still watching, you made that mistake today. So basically, you took the setup, which was kind of correct, but you entered a sell after we just took the low. Here's the same thing. You don't take a buy right after we take the high. You wait for price to retrace and show signs that it's going to continue up. And that's what makes the most sense. And that's why that's kind of failed, because we took the high whilst inverting the fair value gap, which means we should really be looking to retrace. And then, as you can see, we do form a very small imbalance right here on our way to take out that high. I wouldn't trade this one either, but based on the analysis, we invert that, and that's then the reason we continue down to take out this low over here. We just mess around, and now it looks like we're getting some form of breakout. So what we're doing here, if we invert this, we wouldn't trade this inversion, but we can use it as a confluence. So if this closes like this in the next 10 minutes, as long as it doesn't take out this low right here, we can target this liquidity in a sell position, and that would make perfect sense. So if in 10 minutes we close like this outside of this fair value gap, we can then go to the 5 minute, look for a little bit better structure, which looks like we're slowly starting to build up a little bit. Hopefully we kind of just consolidate a little tiny bit, then get that push up, push down, get that IFVG set up in alignment with the AMD, which then aligns with the 1 hour and the 4 hour to take that sell all the way down to this liquidity over here. And that would make the most sense if we see this. So that's gold. That's what I want to see on gold. Unless we get that, I'm probably not going to trade it. But market is not distributing downwards. It is actually manipulating downwards. And Humphreys, I think this journal is it's in, I think it's the link in the description. If it's not in the description, Humphreys, then you can literally go in the Discord. There's a chat for it. Let me see if I can show you. There's literally a chat for it in the free Discord. I'm going to show you very, very quickly, guys, how to find it. Just give me like two seconds. So you go to the Discord, right? There you are. And you can see basically all these different chats. There's one called Stream Journal. If you click that, oh no, that's Stream Schedule. Click Stream Journal right here, and then there's a link to it. You click the link, visit site. It takes you to the same journal that I'm on right now. See? That's all you need to do if you want to get access to the journal. Or I think it might even be the first link in the description on this live stream. I'm not too sure. But that's the journal there, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to very quickly freeze the first 2 rows. There you go. Now we can see the whole thing. There you go. Yeah, this is the stream journal that I'm on, guys. Now, back to the charts. This is the setup I want to see on gold. Unless we get this, I'm not going to take it. So we got GJ looking not really the best in terms of a setup because we need that speed bump structure. As I've told you, we need to kind of just chill a little tiny bit if we're going to take an entry. Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. We haven't looked at Bitcoin yet today, have we? Now, I was looking at a trade position on this, I think. I don't think I'm in it, though, am I? No, I'm not in it, nor have I taken it. Okay, just checking. Making sure I haven't done anything stupid. Right, so on the daily, what's the daily saying? We're going to have a look at why that was put there in a second. Just drag it to the right a little bit. On the daily, what are we doing? So we're looking bearish on the daily as well. It's literally the same routine as every other pair we've looked at today, guys. We take out this high. We then form an imbalance on our way to take the high, which is formed right here. Then after we take the high, what do? We retrace back to the imbalance. We've already moved that down, so the bias now would be a little bit more bullish. I would have preferred to have taken the sell right here, catching this whole move down, because that's what would have made the most sense, because then we're trading with the draw on liquidity. One thing you want to do, guys, don't trade against the most recent draw on liquidity. So you see we take this high, which means we're bearish. So taking buys after we've took a high is never really the best idea. It doesn't really work out quite well. Most of the IFVG losses that I've had and most of the AMD losses I've had are always against the draw on liquidity. So you want to make sure you're trading with the DOL, which is the draw on liquidity, on the higher time frames. As you can see here, catching this sell move down to this imbalance we formed as we took out the high would have been the move. That would have been it. That would have been the play, because we would have been trading with the most recent draw on liquidity. So the bias right now is looking a little bit more bullish than bearish on Bitcoin at the moment, because we've now tapped into that imbalance. On the 4-hour time frame, it's saying near enough the same thing. You can see it's literally the exact same thing again, guys. What do we do here? We take out this high. On our way to take out this high, what do? We leave behind an imbalance right here. Then we come down, disrespect the imbalance. So what do we then do? Once we take the imbalance, we either respect it or disrespect it. In this case, we disrespect it, so we target the other side of ERL. Price literally does 2 things and 2 things only. It goes from ERL to IRL, and then from IRL to ERL. And that can be in the form of either respecting this imbalance, so it takes the high, which is the ERL, then either respects the imbalance and then continues the trend to take the high again, which is then the IRL to the ERL, or it disrespects the imbalance and continues down to the other side of ERL, which is the IRL to ERL. Price literally does 2 things. It goes from highs to imbalances, and from imbalances to highs or lows. From lows to imbalances, then from imbalances to either highs or lows, external and internal range structure. Internal, external range, liquidity, simple stuff, guys. But yeah, on the 4-hour time frame, it's looking a little bit more bullish than bearish at the moment because we have just took out this. But then what you want to do is you want to look at the imbalance. So you use ERL and IRL the exact same way you used it here. You go, okay, so we've just took out the low right now, as you can see. So what do we do then? We then come back to a previous imbalance that we formed on our way to take out the lows. As you can see, we got that right there. And it looks like we might be trying to respect it. Well, it's very obvious that we have respected it, because if I just put this purple line in, you can see that we have come into the premium zone of a bearish fair value gap, which I've told you is the best place to look for your sells. So we've done that right now. We've come into the premium zone over here, reversed and pushed straight down. So what you do now is you would target this low over here, and that's literally it. So we've got a bearish bias on the 4-hour, very strong bearish bias on the 4-hour really. So we're going to prioritize sells if we're going to do anything on this. And this would have been a lovely setup if we caught it an hour ago. You can see fair value gap here, respecting this imbalance. IFVG formed. Perfect setup. Apart from the fact we actually inversed this one here. But so why was I looking for buys? Let's have a look at that. Why was I looking for buys? Ah, there we go. That makes sense. So I would have seen this imbalance formed here. Yeah, that makes sense. I was seeing this imbalance form here. See this one here? This was already drawn out, by the way, guys. I don't know if you've seen that. It was already drawn out. I was looking to disrespect this imbalance. I think I was waiting for the close, but didn't take it because we closed inside this imbalance here. I'm not too sure, but I didn't take it. That's all I know. I know why I would have took it, though, because of that IFVG formed. If market wants to go down, it first manipulates to the top, create a wick, then it goes down. God did the same today. Thanks for the education you gave. That's what I watch for. Happy I can help, Victor. Happy I can help. It's nice to see you getting results with it. So on Bitcoin, we're looking a little bit bearish here. I think the setups aren't looking the best because, like, if this candle here didn't have a top wick like this, if it had it like down to here, this would be a beautiful setup. Beautiful setup. But we don't have that, unfortunately, so we can't really take it. And then let's say, like, you know, we kind of have an IFVG formed right here. If we take that, we put our stops up here. Where do we put our take profit? This right here, 0.6R. Is it really worth it? It might play out. This is the exact same thing that happened on Bitcoin yesterday, guys. Like, there was a great trade that looked like it might have played out, but the risk to reward ratio was very, very low. It did play out in the end. I think if you stuck around on the live stream, you would have seen the trade played out. I didn't take it because the R was too low. And this looks like another scenario of that again. Like, we take out this low here, then you adjust your stops to, like, break even near enough, and then we just try to hold the trade to this, but the R would be way too low. It's not even worth trading that, guys. I'm going to leave that there, though, just so we can see whether or not it would have played out. Yeah, let's have a quick recap on all these pairs then, guys. So Bitcoin is looking very, very bearish, really. A little bit bullish on the daily. Looks like we might be respecting this, and that's the strongest time frame, obviously. Then we look at the 4-hour, you know, and we look to basically target this low again now. So that's a bit bearish. Then we got the 1-hour. Looks a little bit bearish as well because we've respected this imbalance after taking the low. As you can see, we took this low over here, came back up to this imbalance, respected it, and continued down. Another thing, we took out this high. This is very internal. We took this high out right here, internal high, formed an IFVG, so coming down to take the lows. So 1 hour's looking bearish, 4 hours looking bearish. The only time frame that's not is the daily. It's the exact same scenario as the gold, really, because gold is looking bullish on the daily, bearish on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Bitcoin's looking bullish on the daily, bearish on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. I think we will double tap, maybe triple tap. We'll retest this fair value gap on the daily time frame, this one right here, and just potentially come into the discount zone. Why is that? That's the best place to look for buys, and it's a bullish fair value gap. So Bitcoin's looking a little bit bearish here. GJ is just messing around here. I think we're looking bearish on that too. A little bit bullish, in fact, maybe. And then gold is looking bearish too. Now we've just come down to that liquidity over here. I did want to see a bit better structure here if we're going to take this, though. Sorry about that. Yeah, we're not really getting that good structure. If we look on GJ, it's a similar story, I think. We got the close on the 1 hour. We got the IFVG here, but we don't have that speed bump structure. So we're probably going to get that at some point. And that's the way it works, guys. The reason I'm looking for speed bump structure after a move down is because it's accumulation, manipulation, distribution. So we wait for that next accumulation, which is the speed bump structure. Then we can form an IFVG, which is the manipulation. Then we catch the distribution, and it's as simple as that. But there's not really any setups at the moment, guys. So awesome. Big comments here, right? So Ivan said, great explanation. Just to confirm the quote, price goes from either highs or lows to imbalances, and from imbalances to either highs or lows. Is this around accurate? Yeah, that's correct. Ivan, it goes from ERL to IRL. So it will take out a high, come to the imbalance it formed, respect it and take out the high, or disrespect it and take out the low. So what you've got there is correct. Price goes from either highs or lows to imbalances, and then from those imbalances to highs or lows. And what depends on whether it will go from the high or low from the imbalance is if it respects it or not. If we take out a high, come to the imbalance and respect it, we will expect price to take out the high. If we come to a high, come to the imbalance, disrespect the imbalance after making a high, we will expect price to come down and take the low. Does that make sense? There's a better guide for that in the free Discord. I've literally got it written out. I've written out for someone before. If you want to get that, just join the Discord. It's like one of the most recent messages. And Humphreys, sounds good. I found it. Thank you. I meant you should also journal yours for us to see the ones you take when we can't make it. Thank you. Okay, no worries. I will start doing that as well, Humphreys. I'll start journaling all the trades that I take on here. Every single trade I take will be journaled onto here, regardless of if I'm live or not. And that should help with the authenticity. But no worries about it, Ivan. So, yeah, guys. Honestly, there's not much to look at today. GJ had its move, looking for that speed bump structure. Bitcoin is in its move as well. You know, we're not really having any good setups at the moment. Gold just took that liquidity. So, honestly, guys, it's like the streams are going to be great, obviously, full of value as always. But as I said, I'm stopping the streams on the 20th of December. So make sure you join tomorrow's stream. I'm going to call it a day here, guys. Like, there's nothing to look at all. If you want to keep updated with any potential setups that I might take later on today, join the free Discord, as that's where I'll be sharing my analysis. And obviously if I take any entries. But yeah, the final stream of the year is on the 20th of December, so on Friday. Make sure you're there. Make sure you join tomorrow's stream as well. Like the stream if you've learned something new, guys. Leave me a comment if you've got any questions. Message me on Discord, whatever it is. Leave a chat in the Discord. But yeah, like the stream if you learned something new. I'm live every single day at the same time. Make sure you join tonight's market outlook so you can see my prediction and my forecast for tomorrow's stream. Take care, guys. It's a very quick stream, but yeah, Alex, as Alex said, like the stream. That's all from me, guys. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's stream. Take care, and yeah, have a good rest of your day. That's all I've got to say. Very short stream, I'm sorry, no potential setups, so we're just gonna back out. Join the free Discord if you want to see any analysis. Have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your week. Make sure I see you in